it is, I think that's okay. If I didn't know what it is, I feel like it would be
you have
weird.
not known what it was?
What?
Would you have not known what it was if I didn't tell you?
No, I'm from Jersey.
That's right.
Some people don't know what was. That makes me say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to make any assumptions.
Oh, I totally respect that, and I appreciate that endlessly.
Cool.
You know,
So you mean like you knew what it was, so you're comfortable.
I'm comfortable like representing.
You don't know if the moon landing is real, so you're not as comfortable.
Oh,
with
I
that.
totally. I mean, listen, anything is up for debate, but at the end of the day, I think the moon landing absolutely happened.
It happened.
I think it happened. At some point, there was, I mean, I don't know if it was the 1969 moon landing necessarily, but there was a landing on the moon. The moon landing did happen objectively and without context to any in particular. It has happened.
With any in particular country or specific.
Yeah, without like
landing.
regards to any specific landing, there has definitely been a landing.
Yeah.
We've touched down as a human race.
You believe.
I believe that
Okay.
we've made contact with the moon.
Cool.
That's
Who
what they're
knows?
saying. That's what some people are saying. Tom DeLonge stands firmly by that. Like he's dedicated his modern life to this.
Has he?
Yeah.
To moon landings?
No, to aliens.
Oh, okay.
Tom DeLonge.
Paid well enough, I'd do it too.
He's been working with the government recently.
Wait, I thought you were talking about the lead singer of Blink-182.
I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like a huge UFO guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know. I had no idea.
He's like really.
All right, we got to jump right into it. Yeah. Live in 5. All right.
Okay.
We live? Welcome to another episode of Moon Live. This is such a delightful surprise. We didn't think we were going to have an episode today. We thought we were going to take the week off. And then we heard from the Moon exclusive Google chat that our very own Jake is an artist. Not only a extremely prolific and talented engineer, but he may or may not be the identity known as lilBabyplu. Can you confirm or deny that, or is that?
That's entirely up to anybody to decide.
Sure.
You know, like we were just talking about assumptions.
Yes.
I don't want to create any assumptions.
Nope.
I don't want to create the possibility for that. So, you know, I'm gonna leave it up to the people's jurisdiction.
Sure, that's fair. Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for
you.
being on.
Thank you for having me so last minute. You know, no days off at the end
No
of the
days
day.
off.
No days off. So,
We're always on
absolutely.
when you think about it.
Moon
as a
is always
human
on.
race.
Absolutely, and as a human race, it's always on.
Yeah. So let's start way back at the beginning. We were just talking about kazoos.
We were.
Is there lilBabyplu before the kazoo, or did we? How does that?
lilBabyplu exists mutually exclusively from the kazoo. The kazoo is like, it hasn't necessarily made its way into my music yet, but I mean, there's space for anything. Kazoos and I just have an intimate relationship because, you know, growing up, my dad is a magician and he has hundreds of kazoos, and so it's just a thing that's always on my mind at the end of the day. Like somewhere. It's always somewhere on my mind.
It's crazy. My dad, we've talked about this a little bit. My dad's also a magician.
That's right.
And I grew up with no kazoos.
Really?
What's up with that?
I don't know. Did he perform at children's parties?
Before my time, I think.
Okay.
Is that a frequent? Are kazoos and magic, do they go hand in hand?
I feel like two things that have the capacity to be equally ridiculous have the right to go.
Just for the record,
hand
you're
in
calling magic ridiculous and kazoos ridiculous.
I think they both have the potential to be ridiculous.
Sure.
They're also just like incredibly, some of them in some cases can be very lighthearted. Both kazoo and magic, not necessarily either are not necessarily lighthearted. We were just listening to that song by Busta Rhymes and Jay Dilla.
Yeah, not
Really
lighthearted at all.
Extremely aggressive kazoos.
Yeah, badass kazoos.
Insane.
Yep. Okay, but that's how you were exposed to the kazoo,
Indeed.
and thus Lil Baby Plush was born.
It's very possible. It's very possible that that's what led to the inception of Lil Baby Plush and this music. This music really stems from like just a desire to really explore all levels of personality and kind of like be very dynamic in your decision making.
As an artist.
As an artist and as a connoisseur of sexy dads, really. It's really just like an ever-changing playing field, and as long as people are down and willing, you know,
The playing field of dads.
the playing field of dads and you know, magicians and kazooists alike,
Mm-hmm.
the playing field is always open.
I like where it's going. I think the I'm a steal your dad thing is really taken off these days on the internet. It's like there's
Really,
do you think it coincides with like daddyism or the daddy coming to the
absolutely.
yeah
I think, yeah, absolutely. You really can't have one without the other. Part of it is like just the desire to be the dad's daddy, you know. That's like it's a powerful feeling.
the dad's daddy?
If I can be your dad's daddy, like that's pretty,
Well, okay,
That's
I
pretty
see where you're going with
hardcore.
that. Yeah.
you know, that's
Wow.
nothing short of igniting, you know.
Like there's no more. That's nirvana of the owning someone. If you make their dad, if you become the daddy of their dad, you've just like
Oh, I mean, I never dreamed to own anyone. Everybody's
I meant in a
their own
hip hop
person.
kind of way, but
Oh,
that's not your
definitely.
style.
No, it's really, this is like a purely sexual thing,
Sure,
pure kink.
got it. Got it.
So it's
So
just
this
it's just
isn't-
kinky to be the dad's daddy, you know, because they're already daddy, but then I daddy them.
In how does this relate to the person whose daddy or whose dad we're talking about? Is this like, would this be a friend of yours, or would this be an enemy? Would this be a colleague,
Oh, that's
a fellow rapper
a
who's kind
deep
of
question.
yeah?
Um,
Because without the person, there is no dad.
That's an absolute fact. At the end of the day, you know, all of my songs are real. Everything in my songs it's all happened to me. So these
So you
are
don't want to name names.
yeah, just to, you know, in the spirit of justice, fairness,
Mm-hmm.
and discretion, you know. What happens in the bedroom stays in the bedroom. What happens on the plane stays on the plane. You know what I mean? What happens
Wow.
in the zoo? What happens in the zoo stays at the zoo.
Mm.
So, you know, there were some people involved. There were some daddies involved, and you know who you are.
No animals were harmed in the daddying of daddies. I'm
No.
assuming.
I wouldn't dare.
No.
I'm a vegetarian. Actually, that's not true. I apologize. I'm a pescatarian. I eat fish
okay,
on
got it.
occasion.
Yeah.
You know, that's a huge shout out to all the fish who have given their lives for my taste buds.
Mm-hmm.
I really can't thank them enough.
Same.
Really, mostly only salmon, because I know tuna is heavy being overfished. I just want to shout out to salmon, because there's hella of you.
Okay.
You'll never die.
Right.
But huge fan of animals. Big fan. Love
What's your
it.
favorite animal?
Probably a bear.
And what's your spirit animal?
I can't say. You know, there's no telling.
Hmm.
I would need to consult the right person about that. You know, that's a journey that I have yet to embark on.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, you know, if I'm lucky, I'll meet the right person at the right time, and I'll be I'll be informed of what I am inside.
Right. We don't want to rush these things.
You know, my God, the last thing I want to do is rush.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've got, hopefully, cross my heart and hope to die so many years left in this life. So who's rushing,
Yeah. So when did this project start for you? Yeah.
It's nice. Some great whiskey. Thank you.
Yeah.
1884.
Shout out Uncle Nearest.
Shout out Uncle Nearest. 1884, great year. Thank you. Thank you. Josh. Shouts out to Josh.
Josh on the decks. One time.
Shouts out to
Didn't
the
you
whole
just
Moon
tell
crew.
us that you couldn't snap?
Oh, I can't. See, this is not real snapping. You don't hear like...
Is that how you were taught to
No,
do it?
I just like, honestly...
Oh, no, I hear it.
Is that real?
Yeah. What is real?
That's a fact. Can I get an applause for that? You don't have to. Okay.
The audience is a little slow sometimes, they don't want to step on any uncomfortable territory there. They want to make sure you're
absolutely
really requesting the applause before they just give it up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that. That's important. Shouts out to the whole Moon team here.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much for
We got
having me.
Ryan running the decks on the YouTube. We got Hannah hanging out and giggling up there. I don't really know what she's doing, but she prepared
Support.
the entirety of all of the preparation is
Thank
always all Hannah. So shout out. She might also be looking for a kazoo,
Okay.
which to varying levels of success.
There is
no one
pressure.
somewhere.
If it's somewhere, then it'll present itself, I believe.
It hasn't been seen since before the coronavirus pandemic, so there's not even a chance that there's a germ of anything on that kazoo.
I
But
trust that.
yeah, it's
trust
never
that.
been seen.
Okay.
It has a logo on it, but I don't remember what logo, so it's gonna be a big shout out if we do find it.
Incredible.
Might be I have no idea. I just remember it was some kind of branded kazoo, which is great merch. Maybe we should look into that.
Moon kazoos, I think, would be a
The
huge
most
hit.
annoying merch item
They
ever,
would
possibly.
be the worst thing, but also the best.
Yeah.
Like, no one will ever forget it. Most certainly.
That's true.
If nothing else,
They'll never forget us.
They'll never. I mean, I think that Moon has definitely established its place. Like people definitely love it. People love it here. So,
And that would make them love it more or less.
I think it's really at the discretion of the person.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like, if nothing else, I think we all are very aware of how to read the room, and so, I think it's easy to
More than can be said for the person wielding the kazoo in most cases, I'd say.
absolutely. But if we're the ones wielding the kazoos,
Yeah.
then I feel like we are people of discretion and understanding. We know the right person, the right time who would appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, the kazoo is definitely not for everyone.
I'll definitely say. So do you
Well said.
Let's talk about the music. What is next for what does Lil Baby Plush mean to you?
Lil Baby Plush began a long time ago when I had this physics teacher, Mr. Sarcona. Shouts out to Roy Sarcona. Insane physicist, chemist, racer of Dodge Challengers. He the very first day of my physics class in high school,
But can we just go back for a second? He was drag racing
yes.
during that sounds like a conflict of interest that you even know about this. He was drag racing and your high school physics teacher at the same time.
Yeah, he was a very, he was a character, most certainly.
This was a hobby, like on weekends? He was a weekend warrior, Dodge
I
Challenger?
guess, like during the summers, because he said one of the first things he said when he introduced himself is that he has a house in Florida. He's got 6 Dodge Challengers. They're all different colors, and he races them. In fact, the reason he's a physics teacher, or was, I think he has since retired, is that his wife wanted him out of the house. So the physics teaching was really secondary to the racing.
How did that translate to the physics teacher? He got kicked out of the house.
Oh, not kicked out. She just wanted him out during the day.
Oh, she needed some space.
She needs some space.
Something we can I'm sure all married couples can relate to these days.
Absolutely.
Okay. And the racing on the weekends didn't really get him out of the house enough. He needed a more consistent gig.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like deep down, there's something in it for him. I feel like he appreciates haranguing kids.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
so physics.
An interesting bird.
What's this, 10th grade?
So this was 11th grade.
11th
Mr.
grade.
Socona, long story short, Mr. Socona said that I looked like Snake Plissken from Escape from New York, which I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Completely unfamiliar.
I look so it's Kurt Russell is Snake Plissken.
Yep.
And in that movie, he's got long hair down to his shoulders, an eye patch. He's very muscular, and he's got a huge tattoo of a cobra on his stomach. Now, I mean, like, I know that
Got it.
you're not necessarily familiar with my stomach, but
Not
I can assure
at
you,
all, no.
I can assure you that I do not and have never had a giant tattoo of a cobra. As you can see, my eyes are both patchless.
Yep.
And my hair was definitely not at that length at that time. So
But I don't know what you do on the weekends.
I dare say I look nothing like him and never looked anything like Kurt Russell.
You're pretty confident in this, yeah. So what was it? It was more your aura, or your spirit, your energy that gave him the...
I can't even begin to tell you. This guy was a fucking nut. I can't even begin to tell you.
Huh.
So ultimately that became like an identity for me, Snake Plissken, which eventually devolved in my circle of friends into being Plush. And ever since then, I've been...
How did that turn into Plush?
Pliskin just has eventually devolved linguistically, phonetically, etc., culturally.
Spiritually,
absolutely.
Yep.
How could I forget? Spiritually, most certainly, into Plush. And, just the current climate of the rap game kind of promotes, the prefixes lil and baby.
Yeah.
So I feel like absolutely.
Why not? Just
perfectly said.
And yeah, I have this now. Like I only learned about this persona moments ago, and it's burned into my memory. It makes total sense. I'm seeing it. I have not heard any of the music, I will say.
It's a ride.
Yeah. So should we listen to some music?
That's entirely up to you if you feel that
I would love to, but with your blessing, of course. Would this be like an exclusive first listen?
This would be the first full exposure of these tracks to any sort of public forum.
Wow. I'd be honored. We'd all be honored. I'm going to speak for the people on the other side of the internet when I say, so let's do it.
All right.
What are we going to listen to?
Here for it. What's it called? So the EP is called Training Wheels. It's going to have probably 3 or 4 songs.
Okay.
Bikes with training wheels, etc.
That's a reference to.
Absolutely. And me just kind of training for whatever, training, being ready for life. Exactly. I definitely don't have the energy for the speed bag, though. That's a little beyond me.
I've never actually touched a speed bag. I just have always... It looks really fun.
Looks kind of like a uvula.
Yep.
Kind of scares me. Makes me... Exactly. Makes me...
Uvula, for anyone who doesn't know, that's the little dangly thing that hangs in the back of your throat. That's what he's referring to.
Shout out to the uvula. Amazing thing. Thank you.
So yeah, let's hear it. Are we, Josh? Are we gonna
Yeah,
hear it in
speaking
here?
of uvulas, let's hear some
Since
shit.
Jake said, since lilBabyplu said uvula, what's the name of this track?
This track perfectly, I think let's segue into Brain Blast. This is me featuring Jimbo Flex on the beat as well.
Tight.
Absolutely.
Brain blast on your bimbo. Ski ones out of ammo. New drum in the limbo. Tyson chicken biggest fan though. Selling candy on my van though. Your dad looking like my man ho. I got him dressing up in camo. You ain't no Trump poster in my ducks. I got cock slut tatted on my nuts. I'm saying watch it Judy bitch, I'm about to buzz. Turn that core got me looking at my nuts. I say you just call me an animal. My cock like out of this mechanical. I'm out here smoking a botanical. My boss so good I do a manual. Been so fishy got the very cold. Yeah, when it finals mandible. You look good like a cannibal. Treat my owner like a cannibal. What? Yeah. What? Big head like a Jimbo. Brain blast on your bimbo. Ski ones out of ammo. New drum in the limbo. Tyson chicken biggest fan though. Selling candy on my van though. Your dad looking like my man ho. I got him dressing up in camo.
Baby, you know I want it. Oh, you know what you would deposit. Hey, I got 5 mil deposit. Keep going through the fucking bank, you know I want it. I flip pad, I roll a bed. A bitch I find out about, you know that she a bad. I take a bitch to the back like she a bag. Yeah, smoking on the weed like a shack. Yeah, sipping on the cold like a Cody. The bitch on my fucking dick, in case she love it. On the half pipe, can I pop shove it? Sock in the fucking back like won't benefit. Oh, hey, fuck what you know. Oh, hey, ooh, Jimbo stole. Hey, ooh, smoking on that motherfucking loud pack. Yeah, and that bitch now in the back. I got a stretch limb coming in the fucking back to JFK China. Oh, we're gonna take a flight. Gonna take a fucking shit on night.
Big head like I'm Jimbo. Brain blast on your bimbo. Ski ones out of ammo. New drum in the limbo. Tyson chicken biggest fan though. Selling candy on my van though. Your dad looking like my man ho. I got him dressing up in camo.
Yeah.
Please, thank you.
Wow,
Can't even imagine.
that's amazing. What's the name of that song?
That song's called Brain Blast.
Brain Blast.
Shouts out to Jimbo Flex. Shouts out to Hugh Neutron. Shouts out to the whole Neutron family. Goddard included, absolutely a member of that family. Excellent,
Shout
magnificent
out
piece of
to
machinery.
Whoever's dads went into the making of that song. Wow.
Absolutely.
Did you say at some point you were selling candy out of a van, or did I mishear that?
That's really a metaphor, to be honest, in part. You know,
Would you care to divulge into the meaning?
it's really just like the illicit nature of becoming the daddy of a daddy, because some of these daddies are not gonna hold you, or married men,
Mm-hmm.
and that's part of the kink for me.
I kind of like that. Like they've probably spent some time educating their kids, who maybe you even know,
That
to
is
not
very
get into a van with a guy selling candy who might look like you
Absolutely.
with a cobra tattoo on their chest and Doc Martens or whatnot. And
Absolutely.
here you are, full circle,
in it.
luring the dads into a van with candy.
Oh yeah, it's really exactly. It's like doing something you shouldn't be doing.
Mhm,
It feels naughty, but sometimes you gotta indulge yourself. Sometimes you gotta get in that metaphorical van and take a chance.
I love it.
Take a chance on love with lilBabyplu. It's really It's really up to you
I love it.
at the end of the day.
Well,
who
we have
you
a
choose to be.
special surprise here that was tossed down from the heights of the live room at Moon Studio A loft by our very own Hannah. Can we get that tossed over here to Lil Baby Plush for the next tune if we have one?
Shouts out to aviwisnia.com.
That's right, Avi Wisnia. I knew it had some kind of branding on it.
Okay, Chag Pesach Sameach to aviwisnia.com. Very happy Passover to you and yours.
Yeah.
This
Shout
is
out Avi
magnificent.
Wisnia. I've had that. That means this is at least like 14 years old because last time I spoke to Avi Wisnia, I was in high school.
Oh, you actually know Avi Wisnia?
Yes, he must have. He went to my high school before my time, and he's an artist. He's a songwriter, producer, and when I was going to NYU or considering going to NYU for school, I was told by my music theory teacher that he had gone to NYU. So I reached out to him and asked him questions, and he had studied, turned out, religious studies, music, and glass blowing in the Gallatin School of whatever, make your own major shit.
Incredible.
And he's known not only for being a prolific songwriter with a father who is a rabbi, so just saying,
Oh, so this
you
is
wanna wet your whistle there, but he also had a mouth trumpet solo on one of his songs, and I guess was giving out kazoos as merch. Genius.
See?
Amazing.
You never forget.
I know it was deep, buried deep down in there, and I'm so
Deep
glad
down.
that this brought that back up. So
Deep down in your mind, deep down in the percussion box.
Yep.
See, it presented itself at the time and place
Mhm.
where it was supposed to be. So I'm really glad that you've reunited with this memory.
me too.
This is a magnificent piece of equipment.
Well, before we get back to the music, Hannah has prepared some very special April the 2nd over-under questions. Are you familiar with the game over-under?
I am familiar with the concept of, about over and under. Yeah.
So
It's a rating. It's something about, you decide your opinion.
yeah, exactly. We get a little bit of a glimpse into the mind of Lil Baby Plush. I'm gonna say a word or a phrase or a thought, and you tell us if you think it's overrated or underrated in the public sphere, and or properly rated. That's
Sure.
it's not catchy enough for the title, but
Great.
some things I guess are properly rated.
Right.
So it's up to you.
I guess, it does ultimately suggest it does insinuate a proper rating. So,
Are you ready?
absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.
If you're asking.
Handwritten letters.
Handwritten letters, underrated. 1,000,000%. Everybody loves them. It takes time. Means you need to really think about what you're doing. And, feels really good to receive one. Feels really good to give one,
Mm-hmm.
And, everybody makes a buck off that. The only thing about the handwritten letter,
Especially
of course.
USPS.
Absolutely, see, and whoever the guy is that invented the envelope and the guy that invented the stamp, so many residuals on that.
You think they're getting royalties?
Absolutely.
I hope they are.
Rolling
Rolling in it.
If
by now.
if capitalism has done anything, I hope it provides for people like that.
Mhm.
The little guys make a huge difference.
You know who I heard makes a lot of money on royalties recently?
Please.
The the guy who made I think it was a guy because I heard the story specifically. But the little plastic white tables that are in the pizza box when you get a pizza to keep the box from smashing the pie. He's
Naturally.
probably getting some
Rolling
5
in it.
cents per. Yeah.
Rolling in the dough.
For sure.
Absolutely.
All right, number 2, Kush.
Kush. So many connotations. Underrated. Underrated. Not totally understood. Not totally represented in a perfect light.
Hmm.
But It's having its day right
it?
now.
I don't even know.
It's out there.
Okay.
The truth is out there.
Love at first sight.
Love at first sight. I don't know about that. Like, maybe I'm not experienced enough to say, but you got to get to know somebody to love them. You got to spend time. Like, you can be in love with your idea of them when you see them, but it's not necessarily fair to either person's character or however many people's character to say.
Maybe it's just a projection of your own desire.
It's very possible. Then again, if your hormones, if those pheromones really click, sometimes your body just knows, and you're just like, whew. But I can't say.
I
Can't speak too soon.
Straight teeth.
Straight teeth. Looks good. It is what it is. Properly rated.
Havdalah?
Havdalah.
I'm not familiar. Are you?
Sounds like some sort of thing from the Jewish tradition that I cannot recall at this moment.
Me either.
I hope only that it's a good thing.
Okay. If you guys in the chat, if you know what that is, help us out. Celibacy.
Celibacy. I don't know. How is that even rated? How do you rate that?
That's up to you.
Depends. Yeah, I guess mixed ratings, really, like, if we're reading the Yelp reviews, it's really it's all over the board on that. I really think that this country and many Western countries put a lot of emphasis on sexual performance, and being sexual, but there's something to be said for living your life sexless.
What is that something that should be said? Certainly you don't say it.
Who am I to say?
Who are you to
Who could say?
As lilBabyplu?
There's something, yeah. I'm simply not celibate. There's so many daddies or so many fathers, really,
Right.
that I've shared some really beautiful, intimate nights with. So
Okay.
I can't speak to that lifestyle.
Fair. Fishing.
Really overrated. Heavy. Overrated. Absolutely. It's a good time. Who am I to judge people that like it? But
Right.
it's too much.
Too much what?
It's too much.
Fair. Energy radiating crystals.
Really depends on the circle you're in.
Sure.
Mixed ratings. At the end of the day, it probably equates out to proper rating. Like a lot of over and under. In my opinion, probably a little overrated, but there's probably something to it. Enough people are about it that maybe it's just like the way that it manifests in your mind. If nothing else,
Enough people are about it, so it's probably got something to it. That's just to confirm. That's your point.
I fucking hope so.
Audrey Drake Graham. Again, I have no idea who that is.
Half Jewish.
Who is this?
That is the artist known as Drake, Aubrey Graham.
Oh, that's Drake.
It's Drake.
I didn't know.
He actually, his mom's house was down the street from where my friend lived in Toronto for a minute.
Okay.
She actually brought him a kugel when his family first moved there. Aubrey Graham.
That's very nice.
Not a fan of his voice, very nasally. But the beats are fire. Shout out to Noah Shabib 40 with the heat. Endless. Great production.
Yep.
He's got some songs.
Okay.
More Life, great curation. Appreciate it.
Secrets.
Overrated. Just at the end of the day, weighs on your mind.
Let it out.
If it comes up, let it come up. Hiding from it only makes it complicated in your own psyche. Be free.
Love it. Cryptocurrency.
Yeesh. What a deep question. I think it is impossible to ignore the financial capability and opportunity that this can bring you if you're really trying to do that sort of thing, but it's really a rabbit hole that can consume a lot of your mind. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can just like end up losing a lot of money for no reason.
Right.
You know?
Probably so.
I've been on both sides of that coin.
Well,
whichever
Lindsay
coin you choose to
Lohan's.
invest in.
What about Lindsay Lohan's cryptocurrency?
Does she have one?
She has her own coin now, yeah. Would you recommend investing?
To be honest, I don't know enough about the status of her career at this point. I don't know
think
enough.
you do. I'm just going to go out there on a limb and say you probably do.
Okay.
No financial advice, by the way.
Right.
This is not financial advice.
Yeah, coming from, the First National Bank of lilBabyplu, currently doing very well in the markets. I've actually been thinking about investing in so I don't know really what it is.
Do you have any stock tips?
Do I have stock tips?
Yeah.
Buy stocks.
Yeah.
It's my
That's a
stock
good
tip. Get stocks.
May or not include Lindsay Lohan's
If
stock.
Lindsay Lohan's currency ends up popping off because God forbid there be some kind of rerun of any one of her movies, maybe it'll pop off. Who's to say? She could be a financial guru at the end of the day. Maybe she's finally found her calling.
It's true.
I'd like to give her the benefit of the doubt for now.
I feel that. You have a good soul.
She's been through a lot.
Yeah, she has. Ice/bling.
Underrated. Endlessly.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was wearing my shit right now. I've got some ice that unfortunately I forgot to bring with me.
Next time.
Really can't look good enough. Diamonds are forever. Shout out to Rihanna.
Ghosts.
Underrated. Don't fuck with them. Don't take a chance. They're around, and ask Polly Galtieri at the end of the day. Polly Walnuts will tell you all about it.
Okay. Last one. You ready?
Thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm ready.
Puff Daddy's White Party.
I don't even know what to say about that. I don't know what that is. I've never been associated. I wish him the best.
That's a good thing to just say when you don't have something to say. I wish him the best.
I wish him the best.
Unless you're like Trump talking about Ghislaine Maxwell.
Literally
then
anyone.
it's okay. I wish them the best.
Did he say that about her?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, I'm not even well versed in the that whole saga to really comment. I think it was.
That's magnificent.
After the supposed suicide of Jeffrey Epstein, I think she was like going to trial, and someone asked like, "What do you think of Ghislaine Maxwell?" He said, "I wish her the best."
Honestly, what else are you gonna say? It's probably
anything.
It's probably one of the smartest things he's ever said, to be honest.
Very thoughtful. Yeah,
At least somewhat thoughtful.
he was thinking.
Sounds like there was some thought put into that.
Yeah, maybe too much.
It's possible. He might. Did it seem like he was stressed? I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
He's not worth our
Stream
stream. Not worth time. Not worth our time.
All right, thank you. That was another successful
Thank you.
over/under experience. You killed it.
Did I pass? What do we think? Over or under? Over or under a lilBabyplu over under.
Properly rated.
Thank you.
Do we have any more music?
Yeah, this one
Hell yeah.
is the single. Absolutely.
Upcoming single.
If there is one, I might drop it all at the same time, but fuck man, this song is called Kalamazoo. It's a heater.
And are we gonna get possibly a kazoo overdub?
Who's to say? My hand is very comfortable holding it, and I
Okay.
really just enjoy the concept of repping Avi Wisnia.com.
Yep.
So
Okay, well, up to your discretion then.
thank you. It'll present itself in the time and place if it becomes a thing.
Okay. Run it, Josh.
Please. Thank you.
Big Plush 2021.
Boy 50.
My big 5'2" with attitude. It's fat and hairy like a caribou. Bitch, I'm an animal, we at a zoo. Take your girl to Michigan, Kalamazoo. I will take you on a flight, and we never gonna fight. Your daddy's ass is so tight, so I think I just might put a switch up, leave you for your dad. Give me best times I ever had, the best sex I ever had. You my favorite lad. My big 5'2" with attitude. It's fat and hairy like a caribou. Bitch, I'm an animal, we at a zoo. Take your girl to Michigan, Kalamazoo. I'm sorry it didn't work out, 'cause you know the girlie's not what I'm about. I like bad dads, fat lads, and chads. I wanna rub up on those calves. You know, stretch apart that ass. But the red seats so you dad. Give her the clap, I said my bad. My big 5'2" with attitude. It's fat and hairy like a caribou. Bitch, I'm an animal, we at a zoo. Take your girl to Michigan, Kalamazoo. Yeah.
Oh, please. Please. More applause. Thank you. Yeah, I deserve that much.
Legendary.
Thank
That
you.
sounds like a single. Not gonna lie.
Thank you.
Space Echo at the end there.
Roland Space Echo on the whole song. All the vocals have Roland Space Echo on it.
Always.
Everything.
Epic.
Yep. I figured when I got one, I figured that everything from now on needs to have it. But I didn't want to go back and touch the first song.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
So you
No
did your own
continuity on
space. You might be the first rapper to ever run their own Space Echo effects.
Man,
That's,
who's to
that's
say?
incredible.
Who's to say? There have been so many rappers. There have
That's
been
true.
so many Space Echoes.
That's
you know,
true,
I
too.
don't want to. You know, we've been talking a lot about assumptions, and I can't even begin to assume.
I know.
Who
Just
knows?
before this episode started, I said you might be the first rapper to ever play kazoo on a track, and you immediately proved me wrong on that. So I'm obviously a bad arbiter of firsts in hip hop.
Not at all.
But I mean, certainly it's unique though.
Without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else. You know, and the kazoo is definitely a rarity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who's to say how many other instances occur in hip hop?
Yeah.
I only hope that I can find more of them in my life. I think it'll be satisfying.
Yeah. Well, on that note, would you like to cover any more ground, Lil Baby Plush?
Lil Baby Plush is going Fortune 500. You know,
Lil Baby
is it?
Plush coin.
I really just want to shout out right now, really quickly, my inspirations. Really quick, I want to shout out
Let's hear it.
fathers in general as a concept. And shouts out to Mike Stein.
Who's
Shouts out to Mike Stein is a very close and personal entity to me.
Okay.
Shouts out to Teddy Riles. Just came out with an album today.
Hmm.
Hugely influential person, really freeing. His music really like inspires me to be free, and like definitely check it out. It's called Parse, Care. It's on Bandcamp. Bless yourselves. Second seasons. I want to shout out. Last shout out to Nim. Our both of our fathers' mutual love of magic.
Magic.
Shouts out to Magic as a concept.
Mm-hmm.
Shouts out to Moon Studios. Shouts out to Moon Recording. Shouts out to Lane. Shouts out to Roy Sarcona. And last but not least, thank you very much.
What was the last but not least? Roy?
I'm sorry?
Was Roy last but not least?
Oh, no.
What's the last but not least?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
You said last but not least, and then you took a drink.
Oh, I don't remember saying that.
Always leaving us hanging, wanting more. That's what we're here for. Where can we look out for this new music upcoming? Is there anywhere to see? You're signaling that no.
No.
If you come across Lil Baby Plush,
when it's
good
out,
for
it's
you.
out. You'll know.
Yeah,
You'll know.
like a true artist.
You know, no stranger to the game.
Nope.
Everybody knows.
If you know, you know.
If you know.
Amazing. Well, thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for tuning
forever.
in. Big shout out to Josh on the decks, Ryan on the boards, Hannah upstairs and with the questions. Last but not least, Lil Baby Plush. We'll see you next Friday with Lee Taylor. We have a very special episode with a bunch of live performances and a full band, the first full band in m00n Live history. See you there, and happy Friday.